All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
And I am ashamed to be an American right now. And that jury should be ashamed of themselves for that verdict.
The jury ran head-on into our timeline. If that takes you out of the case, forget the rest of it. Nothing else matters. Now, how does O.J. kill two people, go back to the scene, as the FBI agent said, hide the clothes, hide the knife, get home, get cleaned up in 5 minutes? Couldn't happen. Anybody worth his salt should have seen this acquittal coming over the horizon like a Sherman tank.
The Truth About the O.J. Simpson Trial by F. Lee Bailey, June 15, 2021, Skyhorse Publishing. For O.J. Simpson and his ex-wife Nicole, the afternoon of June 12, 1994, began with a joyous event, their daughter Sydney's dance recital. The recital began at 4:30 p.m. and lasted for 90 minutes. Father and daughter posed together, and Nicole's family and O.J. shared warm embraces as they said their goodbyes following the recital. It was 6:30 p.m. The Brown family, consisting of Nicole, Justin, Sydney, Sydney's friend Rachel Berman, Dominique and her son Aaron, Lou and Judy Brown, Denise and her son Sean, piled into two Jeep Cherokees and drove to Mezzaluna for their 6:45 reservation. Shortly after 8 p.m., the family said their goodbyes, and Nicole took Justin, Sydney, and Rachel Berman for ice cream at Ben & Jerry's. Nicole and the kids arrived home at 8:30 p.m. Rachel and Sydney were having a sleepover party that night. Approximately 15 minutes later, the phone rang. It was O.J. calling to congratulate Sydney on a great dance performance. After speaking with her father, Sydney returned to Rachel and their sleepover party. At about 9 o'clock, there was an unexpected guest at the gate, Rachel's father, Robert Berman. The Bermans' plans for June 13th had changed, and Mr. Berman arrived to pick up Rachel and take her home. According to the police report, Mr. Berman and Nicole spoke for about 15 minutes, and the Bermans departed at approximately 9:15 p.m. Back at Mezzaluna, waiter Ron Goldman had just finished his shift and was clocking out for the night. It was 9:33. Ron then joined Mezzaluna manager John DeBello at a table, and the men chatted for 15 to 20 minutes. At 9:37 p.m., Judy Brown placed a call to Mezzaluna. That call was answered by Karen Crawford. Mrs. Brown explained that she had forgotten her glasses at the restaurant. Miss Crawford placed the call on hold and looked for Mrs. Brown's glasses. She found them in the street by the gutter. Upon hearing the good news, Mrs. Brown told Miss Crawford that her daughter Nicole would pick up the glasses the next day. Miss Crawford placed them in an envelope and wrote, "Prescription glasses. Nicole Simpson will pick up on Monday." At 9:45 p.m., Nicole called Mezzaluna and asked to speak with Ron Goldman. Ron told Karen Crawford that he would drop the glasses off to Nicole later that night. Ron returned to the table to continue his discussion with John DeBello and left Mezzaluna with the glasses between 9:55 and 10 p.m. Ron then set out on the 5-minute walk to his apartment. Ron Goldman was a former model whose appearance was important to him. In fact, Ron and Mezzaluna bartender Stuart Tanner had plans to go to Baja Cantina, the Sunday night hotspot located in Marina del Rey. It's likely that Ron spent some time choosing the perfect outfit to wear, getting dressed, brushing his teeth, flossing, and doing his hair. While we don't know exactly what Ron did upon returning to his apartment, the evidence introduced at trial and statements from Ron's sister allow us to help recreate his actions.
far as we can gather from the little bit of evidence that was there, he just probably came home, jumped in the shower, changed, and took off.
The autopsy of Ron Goldman indicates that he ate a spinach salad less than 40 minutes before he was killed. The testimony of the staff of Mezzaluna indicates that Ron did not eat anything while he was at the restaurant. Therefore, one must conclude that Ron ate after returning home and prior to his murder. Shortly before 10:30, Ron embarked on the 5-minute drive from his apartment to Nicole's condo. LAPD detective Tom Lang discovered something important about the gate at Nicole's condo. The mechanism to release the gate remotely was broken, meaning that Nicole was required to exit her condo and manually open the gate for any visitor. At approximately 10:34, Ron rings the gate buzzer. At the same time, Nicole's neighbor, Denise Pilmack, hears a dog start to bark. Forensic evidence suggests that Nicole was attacked first, and, based on the injury to her brain, was likely struck in the back of the head and thrown down to the steps. This swift attack likely incapacitated Nicole for some time. The killer or killers then engaged in a prolonged struggle with Ron Goldman. The forensic evidence establishes that this was a fierce, chaotic fight, with Ron landing multiple hard punches and kicks to his assailants. Ron was stabbed 23 times, but fought hard to save his own life. As Ron lay wheezing and dying with blood flowing down the left side of his body, the killer returned to Nicole. The forensic evidence suggests that Nicole fought her killer and dug her nails into the killer's body. However, the killer overpowered Nicole and butchered her neck in the most sadistic way possible. After nearly decapitating Nicole, the killer returned and plunged their knife into the heart and lungs of Ron Goldman, killing him. At OJ's estate, a limo driver was waiting to take him to the airport for a red-eye flight.
Now, do you see on the phone bill in front of you, sir, a call at 10:52 and 17 seconds?
Yes, I do. I saw a figure come into the entranceway of the house, just about where the driveway starts.
Can you show us on this diagram where you first saw that person?
Just if you go where the circle is, you go straight back. No, the other way. A little bit farther. It was about there.
Was that the first point at which you saw the person?
Yes.
And this 6 foot, 200-pound African-American person in all dark clothing, was he moving? Was this person moving quickly or slowly?
Not quickly, not slowly. A good pace walk, it seemed to be.
And moving in what direction, sir?
Into the house, or towards the house.
How long after you saw the 6 foot, 200-pound person in all dark clothing go into the house did you continue to talk to Dale St. John?
Oh, it was just anywhere between 10 to 30 seconds. It wasn't very long.
And it was within the last 10 to 30 seconds of that call at 10:50, of ending that call at 10:55, that you saw this 6 foot, 200-pound person go into the entrance?
Yes.
Can you tell us, sir, when you first pulled up into the driveway, where did you park?
I parked with my driver's side window parallel with the front door of the residence.
Did you notice the front door area when you did that?
Yes.
And what did you see?
The front door was open, and there were a couple of bags on the porch.
Can you tell us, sir, approximately how long it was between the time you saw the 6-foot, 200-pound person dressed in all dark clothing go into the house and the time you saw Mr. Simpson come out the front entrance?
It was somewhere around 5 and 6 minutes.
For O.J. Simpson to have been the killer of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, in 21 minutes, he would have to do the following. Murder 2 adults. A prolonged struggle. The bodies of both victims show multiple defensive wounds. When Mr. Simpson was examined and photographed by LAPD on June 13, 1994, there were no bruises anywhere on his person. Travel home without getting any blood in his Bronco. There was only 1/8 of 1 drop of blood ever found in Mr. Simpson's Bronco, and the world's most renowned criminalists agreed that the assailants would have been covered in blood. Mr. Simpson would need to have cleaned all the blood from his body. However, there was no blood found in Mr. Simpson's plumbing, washing machine, drain traps. Where did the blood go? After showering, Mr. Simpson would have dried off using a towel. Yet no towel with any blood or dirt or debris was found at Mr. Simpson's property. In those 21 minutes, Mr. Simpson would have needed to dispose of a murder weapon, bloody clothes, a blood-stained towel, and hide them in a place that no one has ever found them. Mr. Simpson would have needed to clean any blood, debris, or dirt that he surely would have tracked into his house. Keep in mind, the carpeting leading up the stairs and throughout Mr. Simpson's entire second floor was basically white. Yet no dirt or debris or blood was found on any of the carpets. In less than 5 minutes after Alan Park saw the dark figure, Mr. Simpson was clean, showered, ready to go, jovial, well-dressed, and ready to leave for his trip. The timing is absolutely impossible. Unless O.J. Simpson could control the space-time continuum, it is impossible that he is the killer of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson.